Yo, yo, yo.
What's the word? What's the
Get these
word?
get these visuals right. What's good, brother? Good, brother.
Chilling, man, chilling.
Nah, you lying. It's too hot to be chilling. But I feel you. But I feel you.
See, today I made sure I got the fan, man.
Yeah, I've been like, but yeah, because when the air is on, it's loud as hell in here. So I'm like, I'm gonna just freeze the room out, and then we'll see what happens by the time 60 minutes come in. I might start sweating at the 62-minute mark. Like shit.
I feel you. I feel you. I don't see the live up on the IG joint.
Oh shit, Kenny. God. Yeah. Let me throw this back on. Ah, shit. We're here. God damn it.
Oh, that is perfect. That is perfect.
Oh, shit.
You gotta love it, man. That's why we love doing this live every Wednesday.
I keep thinking, like, yeah, I'm going to get it perfect today. Nah. See you next week. See you next week, brother.
Definitely. Shout out to Tanya and Jeff on the early check-in. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks for coming through on time.
Let me get this out to a couple people. See what they got going on this beautiful Wednesday.
The fake rain kind of helped a little bit out here in the NYC area if you out here, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't enough. It was still humid.
Yeah. You ain't lying, brother. You is not lying, man. Let's see who we got out here today.
Tanya put me onto the mushroom tea too. I have to put an order in or something. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they got some flavors on it though.
So I'm glad you brought that up, man. So after Tanya mentioned the mushroom coffee, I did my research. And not only did I do my research, but AI did its thing, right? We're here talking about mushroom coffee. All of a sudden, as soon as I get off the show, I go on Instagram, all of this stuff from Rise starts popping up, right? So it's already in my algorithm. Mm-hmm. But I found another good friend of mine who was actually, following Rise. And I was like, you know what? Let me reach out, see what's up. And, they don't use it per se, but they have a friend who swears by it. Mm-hmm. So I got it, bro. Yeah, 2 days in. Okay. And I can't lie, like, it's not coffee. Like,
because I'm about to say, you just went cold turkey. So how's this feel?
Yeah. So it's not coffee, but it is giving me that sense of coffee. And I can't hold you. I know it's only been 2 days, but I do feel like I have a lot more energy than when I was just straight cold turkey, no coffee. Okay. Not as hungry as I was, you know what I mean? Like, it's for me, cutting off coffee would be like someone who's cutting off cigarettes. Like, you're not having coffee, so now your appetite is even crazier. So yeah, it's been cool so far, 2 days in. But I don't think my wife will like it, man. Like, I've tasted it and I'm like, I think if she even sipped it, she'd be like running to the bathroom, man. But yeah,
it's not that Bustelo, bro. You just can't swap that out. Go cold turkey to that. It's a transition that got to be made there. All right.
Yeah.
But the stomach's good though. The system still feels clean.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what we want, man. That's what we want. All right.
Everything's cool, man. What's up, Charlie, man? Appreciate you tuning in. Charlie said, don't talk to him about nothing illegal. AI is listening. Hey, man, listen, like, nowadays you ain't even got to tell on people. AI will tell on you. So it's real.
For you.
Yeah, man. And thank you, Tanya. Yeah, thank you for mentioning it, man, because I was here just trying to figure out life without coffee. Like, I was like thinking 5 years from now, what am I going to be doing? Am I going to be alive? What is my body going to look like? Like, it was rough, man. It was rough going cold turkey. So I ain't gonna lie. All right, man. All right. But other than that, man, how you doing, brother? I know it's only been a week, but I ain't get to see you. I miss you, man. How's everything?
I miss you too, broski. I think I messed up on the IG. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not sure if it's live right now.
It is. I see it.
On my computer side. Don't mind me.
Oh. Yeah, no, I see people. Everybody's talking. Everybody's writing in the chat. Yeah, we good.
All right. nervous as hell on it. All right, I'm rocking though. I'm rocking with you because if the main thing is going, I don't know what his feeding off of, but we rocking.
Got you. Yeah, if anybody can't hear us or anything at any moment, man, just hit us in the chat. Say we don't see y'all, or what's really good. Keep it New York. But yeah, other than that, man, how you doing, bro?
I've been good, bro. Busy week though, man. We'll get into the stuff I caught later as far as again, some of your recommendations from last week worked out over the weekend. But man, just been fake busy, man. If it ain't computer work, it's book work. If it ain't book work, it's kid work. We're gonna get into that too, man. It's the fatherhood week, man. But other than that, been good, man. Been good. Hey, we won. Savannah Summer League. She got the first playoff win. You know what I'm saying? This weekend we go for the chip. You know what I'm saying? It's us versus the Bananas. You know what I'm saying? They kind of tall. They kind of, you know what I mean? You got to get around them. But, we're going to see how it work out, though. But other than that, weekend was cool, broski.
All right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, brother. On my side, man, it's been all about work, man. We took in some new departments that come with a lot of volume, bro. So just trying to answer everything plus the existing business. So just really been locking in and, just trying to stay cool out here, man. Like, definitely like I told you, man, the suit jacket's gone, man. The suit jacket's in the box with the winter clothes. It's just white shirts and suit pants, suit pants, and just trying to keep cool out here. Probably 2 buttons buttoned down on the way there, and then I button them back up when I get there. Ain't trying to be having a hamburger meat out at work, but the brother gotta stay cool on the way.
That's a fact. Yeah, well, you gotta keep it open. As soon as HR's around, you gotta button it up. You know how it goes.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Charlie. Yo, I appreciate y'all for real, cause y'all have it the worst in all seasons, right? You know what I mean? I think spring is probably the one season y'all like get a break. But in the heat or in the cold, man, shout out to all the construction workers out there braving it through this weather, man. We appreciate y'all for real.
Couldn't do without you. Yeah, but I do want to modify the shout out to those that ripped the streets up though. When they got to do a quick repaving. I'm all for, hey, I get it, man. You're gonna keep redoing the street 2 times a year. I get it, but the gap in between stripping the road and repaving shouldn't be this long, man. Especially when there's a street on your route. Yeah, they fucking my car up, man.
Yeah.
Same block every morning. I gotta hit it. But man, everybody else, shout out.
Yeah, damn. Tanya said 113 right now here. Woo!
Nope. Cooking eggs on the street. Nope.
Seriously, man.
No.
Oh man. All right. So we're gonna keep this thing rolling, man. Well, definitely let's shout out everybody joining. Let's see, we still got Jeff with us, Tanya, of course, Charlie in the building. Lynn, what's really good, fam? SKL in the building. Yo, appreciate you all tuning in so early. Shout out to everybody joining from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and of course IG.
Yeah. Somehow, I don't know how y'all doing it, but all right.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. You know what? It's too hot outside, man.
It's too hot. Everybody inside with the AC blowing.
That's it. So they said, let me tune into these dudes, see what they talked about today. All right. As you know, man, every third Wednesday is our FCP Dad series. We are proud dads. We are loving dads, and we love our children, man. But before we get into the main topic, which is priorities, baby, our priority right now is to do some quick shout outs, some happy belated birthdays, man. Kenny, take it away, brother.
Listen, man, Sugar, man, I'm not here to put your business in the street, but she got some luggage on her, man. We love you to death, man. Sugar out there. She had a birthday. Denise, man, I heard you had a shindig. I'm not sure if the ding was shinging, you know what I'm saying? 2 with no invites, a little nuts, but you know what I'm saying? It's all good, you know what I mean? I just assume she still don't got my number, you know what I mean? Same one since high school, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, my guy Ross, man, he about to celebrate this weekend. Another dude over the 40 hump, like, everybody getting old at the same time is weird, bro. But because we don't feel 40, but niggas is old. Niggas is 40. A lot of gray hairs on a couple of us, you know what I'm saying? No bad lips yet, you know what I'm saying? But the knees is cracking.
Absolutely. Nowadays, literally, I'll just be reaching for something and the shoulder pops and everybody just looks at me. I'm like, so what? You know what I'm saying? Be proud if you get to this age, youngins. Be proud.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm staying. Only up from here, baby. Only up from here, baby.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. But on a somber note, we do have some quick RIPs here, man. How we doing this here, Kenny, man?
It gets sad and sadder, man. I'm gonna start off with the I don't want to say young and old, but most unexpected with Jacoby Jones. NFL player, won a Super Bowl in I think 2012 with the Ravens. Man, he was only 40 years old. I haven't heard any reports as to why the death occurred, but unfortunately, your condolences as always. Shouts to the family, and he's gonna be missed, man. You know what I'm saying? I know he's been retired for some time now, but NFL players dying this early. It's always just unexpected and unfortunate, bro.
Yeah, and he was crucial to their Super Bowl run, right? Like that. Was,
yeah. Major key. You know what I mean? Shouts to him. Another old school fave, Richard Simmons, man, the fitness guy that was he never really had a six pack, but he never had to show it either. We just believed him, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But he was 76. You know what I'm saying? He was like the infomercial dude before we knew what infomercials was. You know what I'm saying? He was just on all the time. You know what I'm saying? But shouts to him. He got a few decades in shape on the low at the crib. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, going to the gym, just getting it done in the living room. Dr. Ruth, she also passed away. Man, it was tough. It was a rough week. She might have been the first doctor on TV talking that talk when it came to sex, as far as from a clinical perspective and things women should be enjoying and what men should be doing, and niggas was taking notes. I was too young. That was before my time, but they got some YouTube highlights for those that never caught it. But condolences to to her and the family. 96 is a rich age. And one more. Shannon Doherty. She actually, unfortunately, passed away due to breast cancer. She's been fighting over for the last year or so. She was only 53. You know her from, I believe the show was Charmed. It was like the witch show, but more famous for the original show. What was it?
Beverly Hills 90210. Was it there?
Yeah, the famous one, right? You know what I'm saying? But fuck cancer as always. But she was 53, man. That sucks.
For real, man. Just sending a quick what's up. Yeah. Tough week. Always sad to see people go, man. We know this is a part of life, man, but it's always hard to go through. Like you said, brother, condolences to the family. And we're here, we're making every day count, and we hope you're doing the same wherever you are right now. So just some early topics we want to get in, really just some stuff throughout the week, man. Me and Kenny be going through a lot of stuff, and we like to bring it to this stage, to this show, to see what are your thoughts on this. And the first one I had was, I have some friends who, who are, who have some sight challenge. I'm trying to find like the correct verbiage for this right now, right? They wear glasses, and literally every time I'm around them, they're in their jacket pocket, under books, whatever. And I'm like, what you looking for? It's like, I'm looking for my glasses. It's like, they on your head, bro. Like, like
every time.
But it's not just people with regular like prescription glasses, even people with sunglasses, man. Why do you think that happens?
I think you just kind of forget about it because it's just always there. So you just hope that they never really leave your sight. So when they aren't on your eyes, it's like, yo, it's there, bro. Just rub your head one time. It's there. But I don't know. I can't speak. I always had a 20/20. I can't relate to these people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I ever do need glasses, like if I got like some cash on the side, LASIK may be the route. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like losing my glasses. I don't feel like being a part of that crew.
Yeah, you froze up on us for a little bit, man. I was saying, I know it's usually me. That's why I was there like, let me not talk. And then
I saw yours not moving. I was like, oh shit, it's doing it again. So I just kept talking. Oh shit.
I know, right? All right, it looks like we're good right now, man. So we're gonna keep this rolling while our Wi-Fi's working. So the next one, man, and this is infamous from the club days when we used to have the sunglasses on, trying to look cool as shit, right? Somebody asked me, why do people take off this, like raise up their sunglasses when they can't hear someone talk. And as a repeat offender of this act, for me, it's because maybe if I can see your lips, I can make out what you're saying since I can't quite hear what you're saying.
Okay.
But that's just me, man. I don't know why other people do it. That's why I do it.
Okay, I get it. Helps with the lip reading. I get it. Sometimes I do things that don't have direct correlation, but it's needed in order to get to the next step. Sometimes I turn down the music while I'm about to parallel park. No real reason. You know what I'm saying? I just put, if I got something good playing and I pull up real slow, I go, all right, this is it. Turn it down a little bit. Turn it right back up. Like, yeah, especially if you get it in one swoop, you got to turn that shit loud. But
you got to.
You got to. I feel that.
Definitely.
Question, bro. For those that don't know, like I know you send your lead to those that like happen to tune in on the weekly catch us on the 1st and the 15th as always. But Sean, how do you spell your name, Sean?
SHAWN, bro.
Do people have a problem spelling your name, bro? Talk to me.
For the life of me, Kenny, and I understood it when you didn't know the spelling of my name, right? If you're just writing out a card or whatever and you're like, SEAN, I get it. But what's starting to drive me nuts is now in the professional setting, I have a whole email, bro. Not only is my name in the email, but it's at the bottom in my signature. And I'll still get people who put SEAN. And I'm just there like...
It ain't like somebody at the barbershop calling you Steve. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, it's like you got to fake... You got nothing... Do you ignore? Are you correcting each email? What are you doing?
I ain't got time for it, man. Like I'll let it ride. I know. I let it ride just for the simple fact I ain't got the characters for it, bro. Like these days, like when it comes to emails, if I don't got the characters for it, I just don't do it because then you go down a whole rabbit hole, and 9 times out of 10, man, they're gonna do it again. So but it's annoying. It's annoying as hell. That's not that's not how my mama spelt it on the birth certificate. So that's not how anybody else would spell it. But it is what it is. Just checking on the.
No, go ahead. I was just saying, I know it's funny when clients or corporate don't spell your name right, and you have the opportunity to check them, but then it's like if you check them, then in this gray area, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I had this one older client, cool, really cool dude, but every day he's learning like computers and phone, how to use his own email and shit like that. So he'll stop in the office. He goes, Kenny. I'm like, hey, what's going on? He goes, hey, I'm supposed to, print out some documents on my side, sign them and notarize them, but I don't know how to do this. Like, can you print them for me? I'm like, you got the email? I'll re-forward it to myself because, somebody else sent it to you. He's like, oh yeah, just forward it to yourself. Like, all right, so type in my name, my email, KENNETH, right? Yeah. But as I'm doing it, it says my whole thing, this other thing, but in parentheses, it says your full name. You know what I'm saying? As you save as the contact, and the contact had me as Kanye. It said KANYE. I'm looking at it. I'm like, this nigga don't even know me. We've been talking for years. He's been a client for years, my man. Yes. And you've never looked at your name in somebody else's phone. You're never there at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So when I typed my email in and Kanye came up, I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna go print these docs for you. I'm gonna give this to you, but you got to get out of here, bro.
I'd have so many questions. Like, was this intentional? What do you think about me? Really? Like, that's a conversation.
And I've known him for years. So I'm like, has it been Kanye since the beginning? Like, I don't think he changed it recently. You know what I mean? After he moved from one situation to the next, you know what I mean? I switched sides, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, when did this happen? Was this pre, that crazy photo? Was this pre-Wyoming?
Yeah, was this Amber Rose Kanye, Kim Kardashian Kanye? Like, these are important questions.
I need to know.
Mm-hmm. Let's check in on IG, man. So, what do we got? Charlie said, all right, so going back to like lowering the volume, Charlie said, same reason we lower the radio when we hit a pothole. Yeah, I kid you not, bro. Hitting a pothole, man, depending on where you at, you be nervous.
chest. And when you hit that, you hit the boom. And then like shit, that was just the front tire. Back one coming up, boom, boom. We go, oh god. That back one was right to the front. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That should hit you. That should hit your soul, man. You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
That's a fact.
Tanya says it pisses her off when people say spell her name Tonya. So who's Tonya? Apparently. And then Charlie said, people call me Charles and I correct them. Nah, it's Charlie. Yeah. See, now that's wild. Like, listen, I if you spell my name differently and we're like in person, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, that's not how you spell it. But if you completely like, it's hard to mess up Sean, but I'd be interested to meet the person that goes off and Shawan, Shane. You know, I've been called Shane before. I don't know where they got that from.
So where are you getting these extra letters from, bro?
Where's the E? Where's the E?
Who authorized that? Like, there's a whole H there, bro. They're just going to ignore it. It's like it's silent. I just did it for the love.
That's shit. Fact. That's a fact, man. All right, man. The other thing I've been seeing a lot these last 2 weeks, man. In my mind, there's a door, there's a train, and there's an elevator etiquette, man. You let people off so that you can get on. I know people do not follow this to the T. There's what is it? At 42nd Street, if you ever got on the 7 train to go across to the west side, that is literally like test your might zone, because people come on that train when you're trying to get off and they don't give a damn. So you got to like bulldoze your way through. There's like fights every other day. But I'm noticing a lot with the elevator, man. People are just walking in when the doors open. And I'm like, oh, I'd love to get out. Like, you know what I mean? This is my floor. I'm trying to get to my destination too. But somebody literally just walked in the elevator today and said, good morning. And I'm like,
bro, this is the
can
lobby.
I get the fuck out the elevator?
Like, man, it's the whole. You thought I arrived at the lobby and just thought this was it for me. I was the bellhop in the elevator. Like, I don't get it. Like, no, man, I'm not. What's your floor? Like, no. Bro, I work here, but I don't work here, nigga. Like, it's like, you gotta get your Marshawn Lynch on when you leave the elevator sometimes, man. People nasty out there.
Hell yeah.
Speaking.
Okay.
What you say?
Yeah, only Mrs. Lee said her name gets chopped up all the time. Yeah, I feel so bad for you, girl. I feel so bad for my wife. Yeah. Her name does get chopped up a lot. And then Charlie said, nah, Chinese people, the worst with the trains. Ouch. I hear you, brother. I hear you.
I don't take the trains that often. Please divulge. I'm curious. But I'm curious to know your look on that one. But speaking of etiquette, though, if you're out with your lady, you know what I'm saying, regular date night chilling, you know, just y'all, big chilling. A friend of your lady, you know, popped up of the opposite sex, you know, of course. So they come in for the hug. But it's like a swoop hug with a spin, like feet off ground. Like, I know Shay's not tall, but it won't take much to get her off. But like, as far as the ground, but like if they go in for the hug, swoop, spin, drop, like, what's your next move? Out of pure curiosity, like, what's what you doing? Like, is that flying? Like, are we walking home automatically? Are we walking off the group? Like, what is your next move? If somebody that you may or may not know swoop in with the hug and spin.
So I would never think that I'm the toughest dude or anything like that. But for anyone that I don't know of the male sex to approach my wife and I don't know them and they get that close and even attempt to do that is wild, right? But let's say in the wild sense that all of this happened so fast, like I'm looking down at my parlay, I'm like, yeah. And then, you know, he hugs her, spins her around. And by the time I look up, she's in a whole full twirl. We got to have a discussion after this, right? Because this ain't us. This ain't what we do. You know what I mean? Like, this is not a thing. So yeah, bro, I just be looking at her like, oh, yo, yeah, you know, we gotta talk. What the fuck was that?
He said, oh, we have to unpack this immediately.
Shit. Hell yeah.
But I asked that question because there was a premiere for the new Tyler Perry movie, Divorce in the Black, where Michael Ealy, a friend of Megan Good, who stars in the movie, seen her off the red carpet. You know what I mean? So he came in, real old time friends. They've done a few movies together. We happened to see their silver screen friendship, so they may have one behind the screens as well. But he comes in for the full hug, spin. She kind of like we a little bit, on the spin move, like, she was happy to see him as well. Like it was reciprocated, you know what I mean? So he put it down and, the first edit, he just ignored her boyfriend, Jonathan Majors at the time, right? So the first edit looked wild. It's like, yo, Michael Ealy's a thug. Like, he just came in, shoot your girl up, spin move, made a squeal, put it down, and then walked off. And then before he walked off, he had to take a picture with everybody, you know what I'm saying? And the first edit looked nuts, like, because he thought, he didn't say hi to the boyfriend. But, then like an hour later, the full edit came out. He said hi to him first. And then he went for the swoop move. Not that makes it okay. Like, don't dap me after swoop my lady. Nigga, like, her feet ain't off the ground. What the fuck are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about? But yeah, I'm just curious to know how that would work. Now, here's my counter for you, brother. If a girl came up to you, but you swooped her, how's that going now if it's in reverse? Like, if you did the swooping, but you know what I mean? She ran up on you on some dirty dance and shit like, Sean! Like, you know what I'm saying? You picked her up, you know what I mean? Hugged her, put her down. How you been? Da, 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 da. Like, how is this going now? Like, before you answer, only Mrs. Lee said death. But go with your answer, brother.
Yeah, I could definitely feel this stare. Let me tell you something, bro. Even when I've been drunk around my wife, I don't think I'd ever pick up a woman and give her the dirty dance and twirl. Like, I know how loca my wife is, and I know how disrespectful that is. Nah, that's not happening. I don't see that happening at all.
If I was in the street with my wife and a girl that I knew from a past of any sort of life did like even a half a jog in a dirty dancing sprint, I think I would put my arms out and step to the side and watch it go. like you crazy. Like, oh God, I didn't think you was gonna jump. What the fuck are you doing down there? Like, get up. That's crazy. Babe, this is crazy. This is babe. Like, I don't know why she would do that. That's nuts. You know what I mean? But, yeah, that could not fly. Either way. Yeah. If it was reversed and somebody swooped my lady on the hug, he might get airborne before she hit the ground, man. I don't know if I could. I don't even know. It's too much. It's too much. They both might get rushed in midair. Like, I don't know, man. Something gotta go. Something gotta go.
Ray Lewis style, right?
Yeah. Everybody, you and the block. That's the running back and the blocker. Y'all both going down. Can't do it.
Nah, that's crazy. I'm still stuck on we. That's just gonna be with me now. Yeah, for the rest of the week.
She squealed a little bit on the pickup. Like she was really happy for this pickup hug swim move. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, I guess they really are friends. Like, that's what's up.
Man, listen. Let me tell you something, fellas. All right, especially for you, if any of you young dudes happen to catch this, right? If you ever out with a lady and y'all got any kind of love interest going on, and a man come and pick her up and hug her and twirl her around, she not yours, bro. She not yours. I'm not saying she for the streets, but there's a high probability she not yours. And there's a high probability that man don't respect you because, you know what I mean? Like, to do that man has zero respect.
Yeah, doing that in front of you in public, you might have to count that as a body. And if we got to talk, it's like, so yeah, he's on your list. Word. All right. All right. You gotta unpack this. That's nuts. That's nuts, bro.
You're not lying. That might qualify as assault and battery on a man's pride. Absolutely. Absolutely.
While we on the quick man hate segue for a quick moment, I do got some quick hate I want to deliver. I don't do this often. I'm a real loving guy. As you know, we are fathers, love the kids. You know what I'm saying? But I want to hate on my man Jaylen Brown this weekend, man. He was out at the game.
What?
I gotta hate on him. Fuck you. I know you're a Boston fan. Fuck your Boston fans right now, man.
You talking about MVP, Finals MVP? Yeah.
Why was he at the game with Angel Reese and Kai Gondrazik, right, the prettiest unemployed WNBA girl in the world, holding hands, by the way, as they was walking into the stage, talking shit about Bronny not being ready for the league, fresh off his Finals MVP.
Hey, that's allegedly.
Hey. And the Olympic, and fresh off this Olympic team, like double snub. He didn't get in the first time or the second time when I had a chance. Like, I don't know. I just was curious to know how them three ended up there, and them two was holding hands, and you just with a dumbass. I just won a championship hat. Like niggas don't know your face. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, the funniest thing I saw on X was this. Somebody said this dude got I got two of them with me, smirk on, like they all took a picture and he was smiling. Yeah, hey, listen, man. Sometimes you develop really good friendships in this world, and to the world it can look like something else. When you bless, man. Finals MVP, new NBA champion. JB's that dude right now. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, and he got a new contract. But yeah, it's just some quick hate. I have to get that off my chest. Hey, shouts to the brother, man. He's doing splendid. He's doing well, man. Wish you make the Olympic team. You can make the championship team. But, hey, man, we all can be world champions. You know what I'm saying? But NBA champions is dope. NBA champions.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Also, going over the IG real quick, Tanya had a good point. She wonders how Michael Ealy's wife felt when he did that.
Michael Ealy's married?
I don't know, but if he is, that'd be very interesting to see how she felt.
I ain't gonna lie, I had Michael Ealy on a single for life sniper list. Like, I just thought he was just out there just pulling the old bowl and arrow out every time he hit the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, new target this evening type shit. But she has to expect that. The nigga, hey, no gay shit. The man's not ugly. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got the eyes, he got the hair thing going for him, man. The boy's moving out there, so she has to understand that at this point.
I hear you, man. High Life said that's wild, that's etiquette, that's wildly disrespectful. Charlie said, hell no, ain't no chick jumping on me for the twirl. It's a pound, no hug. High Life, you gotta have a mean ass relationship with that person for them to see you with the opposite sex and disregard him or her for the swoop. Absolutely. Charlie said, if you twirl my girl in my head, he killed before. I'm guessing he beat. yeah. But yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Tanya said Michael Ealy is very much married with kids. Wow. Okay. Hey, man.
It's a friendship. Yo, friend. Like,
yeah, just like Jaylen Brown.
Just like Jaylen Brown.
All right, people. This is that part of the show where we get into some odd stuff that's been happening, man. And I think everybody knows where we're going right now. It's the hottest topic from over this weekend. This is our This Can't Be Real Life section, and we are going to start out with the Trump rally that went wrong. Many of you have probably seen the video. They got several different angles, several different clips. Basically, former President Trump was at a rally, and the sound of what is said to be gunfire went off. Apparently, he was struck or grazed the top of his right ear. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot to unpack with these clips that have been released, brother. But we'll get through the facts first, and then we'll get into our opinions. We know the shooter was killed, Thomas Crooks, around 20 years old. And then there was also a deceased bystander, Corey Comporator, 50 years old. And then, of course, some injured bystanders, David Dutch, who's 57 years old, and James Copenhaver, 74 years old. But you saw this video, brother. What were your thoughts?
Like, is this a safe space? Oh man, I don't know where to start on this one. It looked like it's unfortunately it's 2024. You know what I mean? And everything has to be questioned and like, is it real? So on and so forth. But after all the videos and the perimeter and the little diagrams, and the unfortunate situation as far as someone actually dying, it just looked like organized chaos. At some point, it looked like it was staged, but at some point, it's like, nah, they wouldn't write that part in the script neither. So I wasn't sure what was really happening when I seen it, but I don't know, man. I don't think Trump would go, yeah, nip me just a little bit in the ear. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't feel real neither. Like, you know what I'm saying? No one gets up after getting shot, you know, puts their hand up, you know, fight, fight, fight. And Secret Service shouldn't be allowing you to do that. Like, yeah, you just got shot, Mr. President. I mean, Mr. President elect, or whatever the nominee, whatever he is at the moment. They gotta be. If somebody's busting shots and you just haven't let him stick his arm out, his head out, he's still fresh meat out there. He get hit again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know if the situation's been resolved out there. Like, we just heard shots going. So it just seemed like a lot of weird things happening at once. Like the crowd not really running, but pulling out cameras in the background. I'm like, yo, y'all don't hear that? You know what I'm saying? Nobody think it's good to run or duck or
Yeah.
you know what I mean, hit the ground, stop, drop, something. I was just, it was too much going on, brother. Well, what was your first thoughts when you seen the video, though?
I was like, I was trying to understand how that sounded like gunfire. Like, granted, I haven't seen a lot of live videos where gunfire went off, but it didn't sound like regular gunfire, right? But what's that supposed to sound like if it's a supposed sniper? And then shout out to Tanya. It seems like he had some type of fugazi ammo. It wasn't like a real bullet, whatever, you know, Trump got hit with. But it didn't seem natural to some of the points you already made, right? People kind of just went like this, and then we're like, was that what you thought it was? You know what I mean? Like, everybody just kind of sat still and was just chilling. Yeah. I done been to block parties with less people, and everybody would start sprinting at the sound of anything that sounded like gunfire, right? So that's what caught me off guard. And then, you know, I think you laid it out pretty clearly, man. I thought the same thing. For him to come up with the whole fist and talking about fight, I was just like, yeah, this is WWE at its finest, man.
But even in WWE, if somebody really died, like it was a oh shit, this has gone too far moment. You know what I'm saying? But you know what Trump doing the next day? I think he was playing golf with a Band-Aid on his hair. Like, I'm like, yo, did he visit the families? Like, did he go do anything? Like, it's just it's back to business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot. But all in all, though, he might have the hardest presidential candidate photo ever on the run before people got a chance to go vote. He might have the hardest 8x10 out as far as like the flag in the background, blood on the face, hand in the air, shouting and shit. Just got clipped. Yeah, he has. That's a mixtape cover on the low. If he ever want to do that, if this president shit don't work out, that's a mixtape cover.
Hands down. Like, I could totally see him coming out to 50 Cent at one of these rallies, and people were gonna eat it up and love it. Yeah, man, it was definitely wild to see. A very unique situation. I think this does tremendous value for his presidency. I think he is going to market off this. He's going to profit off this, and we are living in very interesting times when it comes to politics, man. Like, I remember growing up as a kid, politics was as straightforward as you could think. And I don't know if probably I was just naive because I was young and didn't really understand what was happening, but I don't remember theatrics like this. This guy, he's definitely unique. He's one of a kind, man.
For sure. Sidebar question. When the news hit Joe Biden camp, right? What do you think the initial reaction was? It's like if you found out your op got hit, it's like, where'd they hit him? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened? We're concerned, of course, but is he gonna make it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think went through their minds at the moment?
Oh man, whatever it was, man, we can't talk about it.
It's a safe space. It's a safe space.
Oh man, but I feel you. I know a couple of thoughts were probably running through their head, but yeah, man.
Gotta keep PG. Gotta keep PG.
Definitely. But yeah, man, interesting stuff. And then in other news, The classified documents case for him was dismissed. So, he's having a hell of a week. And I can just see that next rally he has, that next time that he's in front of people, if it hasn't happened already, oh man, if they loved him before, they idolize that man now.
It's a fact. It's a fact. As far as his chances of getting elected, you think it's an automatic now?
Between the botched debate on our current president Joe Biden's side and this, yeah, like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like this, we live in a weird time where like sensational issues like this and moments like this, people gravitate to it, and Biden is still struggling to really show us what it is that this new presidency is going to stand on. And Trump he's after the black vote, man, and I think he's going to do everything that he can to get it. So if Joe's going to do something, man, he better figure it out very soon.
Speaking of doing anything he can do for the black vote, did you see Amber Rose?
Nah, I've seen little memes about it, but I haven't seen the actual issue. What's up?
I don't know if I can divulge too much because I don't know too much on it. But she seems to be the spokesperson for all things young related as far as it comes to the youth, and just trying to garner that attention towards his candidacy for Trump. She, pretty much went out on the limb and said, "Yeah, he has my vote." Man, when your integrity is for sale and there's a number they hit, it gets dicey. It gets dicey. It gets dicey, my man. It gets dicey. It gets dicey.
I hear you, brother.
But yeah, man, shouts to them.
Definitely. So bringing it back to New York, man, and this is via Crane's Health Plus. You probably heard in previous live shows we talked about SUNY Downstate and its potential closure. They were able to evade that, but it turns out that one of their execs was charged with stealing $1.5 million. So prosecutors allege that Dr. Michael Lucchesi, former head of emergency medicine, embezzled nearly $1.5 million from the financially struggling hospital for personal travel, his kids' tuition, and get this, luxury dog hotel.
The dog was living too? Oh, man.
The dog had room service, chow, fluffy pillows,
massages.
Yo.
Scrappy was living a life. All right. When officials get caught embezzling for the high numbers, I always wonder, was it like the slow drip embezzlement or was it the one-time cash out? Yeah. Are they going to see this one transaction, or are going to notice these 1,000 little transactions? Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Right. Hey, it was cool till you got caught. So we'll see how that goes. But I doubt it's going to work out for him. But these are white collar crimes, to my knowledge. So that'd be a slap on the wrist, bit of a fine. I'm not sure how much I'll have to give back. You know what I'm saying? But he's a prosecutor, so he's going to have a pretty good offense. Good defense.
So the other thing here, man, and this is going over to the home run derby. I think a lot of us, if you've ever like really watched sports when people sing the national anthem, you'll remember Fergie, I believe it was at the NBA All-Star game, sang the national anthem. And let's say Fergie didn't have one of her best days, right? So the home run derby happened, I believe, either on Sunday or Monday. And Ingrid Andress, a 4-time Grammy Award nominee, was chosen to sing the national anthem. And let's just say things did not go as planned. You've probably heard this video by now. If you haven't, please check it out after the show. And let's just say, Kenny, the notes were pretty much all over the place. You know, she was trying to find that C note, but then, you know what I mean, that A kicked in, and then it became more like a ukulele at one point. But the best thing about it was when they showed the players' reactions. And when you see players start looking left and right, like what's happening right now? Like,
who high and shorted? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, it was crazy, man. It was really crazy. So now it turns out after this debacle, right, it went viral. So she takes to her social media stating, I'm not going to bullshit y'all. And this is her words. I'm not going to bullshit y'all. I was drunk last night. I'm checking myself into a facility today to get the help I need. That was not me last night. I apologize to the MLB, all the fans, and this country I love so much for that rendition. I'll let y'all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun.
Yeah, even that response, like I know her PR was like, "Why is it super fun to that? Who put the super fun there?" We didn't have that shit. Did she freestyle that shit? Like, it's like the first two bars are mine. The rest of that shit, she freestyled, y'all. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's nuts.
So first of all, I love this line. Abushi, abushi. Like, come on, man. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was drunk. Let me tell y'all something, right? We watched James Brown, Michael Jackson, and the list goes on of our old artists who went on stage with all kinds of intoxication. Maybe they were a little slower, they didn't really hit that move too quick, sharp, or that note too good, but they still were singing. This woman walked out there on her own, walked out of there on her own. You was drunk?
You gotta know, as a performer, you gotta understand some nights, hey, hit that play button on my shit. I'm not gonna be able to. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna follow y'all on this one. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta let the team know tonight's not the night. I'm not feeling it. You know what I mean? As a professional, you gotta know that. You can't go out there that many cameras and do that. You can't.
And then the sign off to your point, right? I'll let y'all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun. Nothing about that statement makes me feel, let's say you really were drunk and you really have a problem, right? Because it's a real thing. Nothing about that sign off makes me feel like you're taking this seriously.
I'm not even sure if she's really going to go. based off the outro of that, I'm not sure if she's really. She might just be doing this and rolled over in bed like, yo, da-da-da-da-da, boop. Not doing a rehab. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, for real. All right, man. Keeping this thing rolling, man. Just a quick heads up for anybody who's living in Queens. There's some West Nile virus mitigation that's happening tonight through the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. They'll be spraying pesticides in parts of Queens today between 8:30 p.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning in an effort to reduce the adult mosquito population and the accompanying risk of West Nile virus. So if you're in Queens, man, make sure you wear your mask. Probably want to stay in the crib. I don't know what they really spraying out there. So
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna hold you. I thought West Nile was kind of done with. Like I thought they kind of got mitigated to a point where it wasn't something we had to worry about anymore. But all right, the more you know, the more you know.
Absolutely, man. All right, man. So we're about to get into the main topic here, man. Priorities, baby. Every third Wednesday of this FCP Dad series, man. First, quick shout out to those still hanging with us. I see Tanya here. Jeff still rocking with us. High Life. Only Mrs. Lee. SKL. A-Dub in the building. What's up, A-Dub? Appreciate you all hanging around with us. Priorities, baby, man. Becoming a dad tends to shift your mindset, man. In most cases, naturally your priorities are supposed to change, right? You have to become this responsible person who is now responsible for another life that you created. So for this show, we'll be diving into some of the changes we had to make as far as prioritizing fatherhood, and maybe some of the things we haven't changed yet because it is a process, right? We all remember we're about grace here. There's no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. And if you're in that same growing phase, we are here to support you. So, my brother, I think we should start this off with just talking a little bit about the priorities you had before becoming a dad and how that shifted when you finally first found out you was going to have a kid. Then we'll shift to when they were born. And then, of course, now as you see them going through the different phases.
Let me take it to the beginning and pre first kid. my priorities that I felt was the world to me seemed so irrelevant at birth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like things that I had on my planner, prior to, oh, we gotta drive to Boston, get these shoes, gotta run over here, go to South Beach, gotta just all of that shit. Just I don't have any plans. Like you know what I'm saying? It just kind of dwindled and kind of just I have other things to take care of. So that might have been one of my first early transitions. I'm like, oh wow, not that you're losing things, but you just don't have the want or need for it anymore. Like you just got other things to prioritize, including trying to raise this child. And that was the very beginning. That was the very first step of so what I thought was important wasn't even a pebble in a pebble in the lake. All right, cool. But then the child is here. They have some actual priorities and shifts you need to make. And I know we're going to get into it a little bit. The first one might have been the money goes quicker than it used to, right? Because at first you feel you could do everything that you used to do. You just I got a kid now. Just I'll just add this to the budget, right? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Man. But then the budget start budgeting, and then the bills is more than the income. It's like, wait a minute, like who took the plug out my piggy bank? You know what I mean? So that might have been the second realization that things really need to change. That we'll get into a bit more, and now, like I know we'll get into this a bit more, but it has really magnified the my wants versus my needs. The things I wanted pre-kid, yo, go get it. YOLO, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything was, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Now it's like, shit, even with the shopping list, I'm like, am I the only person that wants this one item from the supermarket? Do we really need it? Like, if I could get 2 votes, we'll add it to the list. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those now. But those have been like the big changes that we'll dive into all of them individually, but those have been my big things.
Yeah. It was interesting on my side because I think me and my wife were together for barely a year before we found out we were having a kid. So, but already before that, and we talk about this in previous shows, I already told her like I was in that mindset of having a kid. So to me, I was ready. It was like, I'm ready to give up this life. I don't need to do all this stuff. I'll be fine. Right. You know what I mean? Then he's born and it's like, oh shit. Like I'm responsible for this life right now. Like, so now my biggest priority at the time was making sure everything was set up in the house. And I think I did it like the night before because every day I was just running to the hospital. Y'all good. Everybody straight. Looking at the doctor. They good. I don't want, sometimes she be lying. Like, they good. All right, cool. You run back home. And then I remember the night before, I'm like, oh shit, where's this kid going to sleep? So I'm putting everything together. And then it was just really just like safety and, watching them do, the whole swaddle. I was a swaddle master. Like I was, priorities before were making sure my fit was tight. Now I'm making sure the swaddle is tight. Like, it shifted that quick, right? And, so that was when he was born. And then, like you said, we're going to get into it a little bit more, but now it's similar to you. You know what I'm saying? What he wants becomes my wants because I know if he has the best setup for his future, then, I'll be fine. I've had my fun. I'm pretty much now setting up everything for him so he can, pretty much ball out if he wants to.
What they don't tell you is like from the moment you find out, hey, we're going to have a kid, like, they don't tell you that you just entered yourself for your jersey to be lifted into the rafters because, like, you submitted you put your application in, but you didn't sign off on it yet. It's just, the application's there, but it's still pending. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't put nothing in, you ain't signed off on it yet. But then as soon as you hold the kid for the first time, you happen to look back, you got, oh, they put up the home and the away jersey? Okay. Okay. It's like, all right, it's real. It's real. Oh, man.
Yeah, man. And then there's shifting priorities, right? It's almost the same as what we just talked about. It's just now same thing along the lines of making sure you look good versus making sure they have what they need, right? And you alluded to this, right, with the finances. I remember like vividly, I wanted him to look just as good as I did, right? So I remember we had like so many different outfits for him ready to go, and it's like all right, what's he coming home in? Because this is important, right? This is the first time we're presenting him to the world. He has to look dope as hell. So I remember putting it on him. It was this nice little polo onesie, but the shit was so big. He's just laying there like a starfish on the bed. You know what I mean? Just like, get me out of here, guys. All these fucking pictures. But yeah, man, just shifting around, you know, him looking good and you know, being as clean as possible. And then, of course, you know, understanding that I'm going to have to, you know, really shift with how I look at time. I'm going to get in a little bit more into that later. And, you know, just really making sure that I'm understanding or learning what's the best way for their health, right? You know, all that colicky and all these words did not exist to me that much before. I mean, I got a little taste of it with you and Jen with Savannah, but I wasn't really like in the weeds with y'all, right? It was more like a, hey, go back to your parents. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, good.
Like I know you had a couple of milestones you wanted to touch on it, but listen, you went from, you know, being a man to being a dad. You took care of yourself one way prior to being this person, but now that you are that person, you stepped into it. You've got a good decade in and a bare min. You know what I'm saying? You know, pretty much. Like, how has your self-care shifted? Like, what have you done for yourself prior to being a dad to what you do now as a dad in the self-care department?
Shout out to O. I think he framed this the best. You got to take care of yourself. You got to make sure you're right, you know, so you can be right for them, or before you can even help anybody else, let alone your kids, right? Had to calm down with the reckless behavior, man. The drinking, the partying, going out, you know what I mean? It was definitely something that it was like, you got to cut down on this for several reasons, right? You know, don't want to end up in jail, don't want to end up dead, and, you know, got to take care of myself, right? And started exercising, getting serious about it. Like I was fake exercising before, right? In the gym, getting bulky, but still eating a lot of garbage. So now it was a lot more intentional because I wanted to be a good role model for him as he got older. And then, of course, mental preparations for the challenges that come with being a dad. I mean, in no way can we take away what the mom's role is for these kids. I mean, you're phenomenal. I don't know how you do it, but I'm so thankful for you all. But there's that challenge of, all right, how do we support her? How do we make sure that we're playing our part? Our kids know we're present, we care, we support them. And every day, that's a mental preparation, because one day of not approaching it the right way can shift their mindset so much about how they feel, because they're still new to the world, right? Everything they experience hits them in a different way, and that can be a little tough.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, self-care is important, man. Or shouts to O. He definitely laid that groundwork for us as far as just kind of understanding that you can't forget about yourself while taking care of another self. You know what I'm saying? Super important. Super important.
Yeah,
another question for you. Free time. Prior to, you know, Darius, you know, paying your pockets, you know, before he leaves the house now, it's like you had, you know, I mean, you had you time, right? Essentially. You know what I mean? Now, for your, let's look at it as a big piece of pie at the moment. You know, before 100% you. Where's your you time now in this pie?
you know that piece of the crust that falls off when you're trying to get the whole sweet potato pie up. That's my time, bro. Like, you know, when you get that perfect cut, Kenny, and you're like, all I gotta do is scoop this, and it's go time. As soon as you pick it up, that crust go
clap, clap, clap.
Yep. That's my time, bro. But you know what? I make the most of it because I like to be ready. Especially when he was first born, everything was like about him. He woke up and it was like, all right, this is amazing. Like, I've seen it on TV, but it's real now, and it looks just like me. You know what I mean? Like, what's he gonna do tomorrow? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, I'm holding my finger over his nose. Like, it's crazy. But definitely prioritizing time to make sure I'm present with him, have our bonding time. I had even shifted my hours at work just to make sure I could get the most time to take care of whatever self-care I had, So the rest of the time was with him and my wife. And that was definitely important. And then, of course, just I really feel it was really just making sure that I wasn't distracted by anything. You know what I mean? Just focusing on him.
So, kids need that. You know what I'm saying? They need that one-on-one time, even when you don't have the time for some reason. Because even when you do have some shit to do, the one-on-one just wins all the time. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you did have
Yeah.
lined up, it's useless. It'll be done later. You know what I mean? You got to get used to it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Another topic where we bring this up a lot in different formats and topic points and headers, but finances. We spoke about it quickly a little while ago, but you got to open up separate accounts now. He needs one. He needs a checking account. He needs a these days they need a Cash App account too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you doing, or how did your mental mindset shift when it came to finances, pre and post dad?
So I think the first thing we did, and I think a lot of traditional parents around the time in like 2011, 2012 was that whole like Gerber thing. I know there was the life insurance thing, but then there was the other joint. I think that goes up to like, at the time went up to like 10,000. Wasn't really good about it in the beginning. To me, it was just, if I got money, he got money. So it was just, if I'm saving, he got money. It's going to be all right. After a while, I think once I started speaking to people who had kids that they were putting through school, it was like, bro, there's no way you're going to do that. They started breaking down math. If he was to get into an Ivy League school, and I say, yeah, this savings ain't going to cut it. Not in the slightest. It really became learning more about it. I think if you're not familiar with it, like the NY529, I think now it has different ways that you can manipulate that program. Just recently really got really into investing. So now it's really about setting him up. He's about to turn 12, so I can add him to my credit card. So just really making sure that he's set up hopefully the best way, so that whether he wants to go to school or he just wants to travel the world, we can set him up the best way. And the best part about it is my wife is right there lockstep, making sure that we do all of this. But I'll say it for anybody out there. We really didn't have a great plan in the beginning. So don't be like feeling bad if you're like late in the game trying to really get things right. Sometimes we don't get it right out the gate. You know, it takes some time. It takes some probably making a mistake or two, and then finally listening to the right people and doing that course correct.
All right, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, finances is probably number one and number two on the list as far as importance goes. You know what I mean? You can't do one without the other. So, all right, all right. Now here's another question I got for you in regards to the shift. Growing up, before you were a dad, you may have been able to witness or see other fathers, whether it be family members or just friends alike, be a dad on their in their lens. You know what I'm saying? You kind of got to live, through a window in the sense where you can pick up the baby, oh, baby steak, here you go. You know what I mean? You're able to give it back. But you was able to kind of pick up on pieces as other fathers were being fathers. When you became one and his needs came into play, how did that change or alter your approach?
Yeah, I mean, of course, the diagnosis with autism definitely shifted the priorities, because now it's not just about being a great dad; it's about understanding what he has. And now you like become a sponge, right? Anything that you gain interest in, if you really feel like you want to learn it and understand it, it was just going through that process of making sure, okay, what is he going to need from me as a dad? He's going to need me to understand that this is going to be a journey. He's going to need me to understand that even though he has this diagnosis, he's not going to be different from any other kid in my eyes. And then all I can do is be positive that I'm going to give the best that I can and learn as much as I can to support him as much as I can. And by the grace of God, man, we're at that point now where, he's really thriving and he's definitely heading in a decent direction. And like any other kid, man, I mean, keeping him focused, getting him out of the distractions is a normal thing. When he's going to, stop telling us about certain things, making us feel like we're dumb. It's an interesting shift in how things have happened. But I had to prioritize what he needed from me the minute we found that diagnosis. And that shifted my mindset on everything, where it was just like what I was worrying about when he first was born meant nothing to making sure that he was going to be able to just have any kind of verbal communication, social interaction. And now it makes everything else that he does even more appreciative, to the point where sometimes me and my wife are smiling until he's just telling us how dumb we are again.
I gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. You consider yourself a talker. Did you talk often before Darius, as far as communication goes with your partner?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. I own that. You know what I mean? I'm not only a client at the time. At the time, it was terrible communication. It was a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, a lot of unorganized thoughts. But he taught me patience, and then wanting to have the best relationship with her, she taught me patience. And I think now having effective communication, that shit has helped trickle into everything else that I do. And I have to thank both of them for it, but I had to prioritize it, because I could have easily just continued to be that terrible dude. And 9 times out of 10, they're probably not with me right now. So that was very, very important.
That's what's up. Yeah, those are all good points, bro. You have made a really good mental shift for the better. How do you think any of these would have taken place if you weren't a dad?
That's a great question, bro. In the words of Kanye, we'll never know.
Never know.
I guess we'll never know. You know what I mean?
What's up?
It's crazy. But listen, brother, I always tell you how much I love you. And one of the best things about this is you were the first father as a family member and as a peer. You know what I mean? That I could I grew up with, and now I'm seeing you be a father before I became one. So now, we had so much fun, a lot of fun, pre girlfriends, after having girlfriends, even when you got married, a lot of leisure time, a lot of fun time. But now you got this kid, bro, and you got to look at that time. And now, did you have to make any shifts when it came to that?
You know what's funny? With me and Jen, we were enemies, the first month, as far as knowing each other, then became friends, and it went on to love and everything. So when when Savannah, quit #1 came around, it was just, granted we were married and all that, but it was just like two friends raising a kid that was mad cute. You know what I'm saying? We were just raising this girl, everything is always kind of flowing. It felt like a lot changed. You know what I'm saying? We were living at the in-laws, and it was their first grandkid, so it was really 4 adults in the house at all times. You know what I'm saying? Just everybody having an eye out. So we were able to still, flow, kind of keep things as they were. You know what I mean? It wasn't as bad. There's a little bit of reduction how you couldn't do. And I think as far as reduction, yo, man, 4 a.m. is nuts. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get home at 2. You know what I mean? Maybe 2:30. You know what I mean? And that was the reduction at the first kid. You know what I mean? It wasn't a big drop off, but a little bit of a turn down. You know what I mean? But by the time the second kid came around, Kennedy's like a 5-year jump now, granted, the first kid is sufficient, making own cereal, flushing the toilet. Kid number 2 is like, I can't walk yet. So it's like, shit. So now it got to the point where it's just like, you go out, you know what I'm saying? And I go out and you stay back, and we'll flip flop. Like, I got this Saturday, you got next Saturday. So, we was still trying to be ourselves on the outside, but still, keep this family thing going. But by the time the third kid came around,
he's like, we officially outnumbered, dog.
It's like, yo, if one of us leave, the other one might not survive this trip. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was one, so we all going or we ain't going. You know what I'm saying? It's about survival at this point. You know what I mean? But it's funny, as every kid came, granted the leisure time reduced, but other things gained as far as, the love, the compassion of a family, the way it just kind of organically grows just with spending more time with each other happens. But it was a cool transition, because even although the leisure kind of went, it turned into play time /fun time /education time dad time
Nice.
with the kids. So it's unfortunate. Nigga, 40 now. This is my leisure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas like kids like, oh, you want to play trouble? I'm like, oh, I'll bust your ass right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's going down. You know what I'm saying? But that's leisure to me now. You know what I mean? But that's
Gotcha.
how time has shifted. Time has shifted, my brother.
Nah, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. That's priorities, baby. That's exactly what we're talking about here. So now you mentioned earlier about wants and needs, and that's very important, right? I think that's like 101 when you're trying to make the right decisions, right? Understanding the difference between your wants and needs. And now you got kids. How does that shift now for you? Because you got three. So
Like, hey, pre-kid, I had a shoe habit. I won't lie to you, man. I had all the shoe apps, you know what I'm saying, getting alerts. Yo, Saturday, 9:59, alert, alert, alert. You know what I mean? Time to get either let down or satisfied by sneakers. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So all that kind of just slowly just dwindled. And not because because before it's like, oh shit, they got my size. Boom, add the cart. Now I'm looking at I'm like, $170. Nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? Now it's a different kind of look at it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I know you got my size, but that price is silly. Like, you know what I mean? Now just
Yeah.
like I have 1,000 other things I got to do with that same $170. You know, so it just kind of shifted. It shifted from new shoes to like checking out. Oh, Nike's down a couple points.
Hmm.
Get a little half a stock there. You know, what I mean, just add here and there towards their portfolio. But it
Yeah.
just shifted. Like, you know what I mean? It's just money they can't help anymore as far as the material things. Like, I still want them, don't get me wrong. Can't deny fresh pair of all whites, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Those are still shit, those went up to 100. And I'm like, damn. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But it's like, it's just, hey, either these or nothing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
thank God Jen lets me get those. So. But yeah, it has shifted, man. That is one big thing because now the kids like, oh, I need shoes. So I'm like, we just bought you shoes. It's like, yeah, I'm not even that shoe size no more, Dad. I'm like, for real? Like, what if we cut the toe off? I'm like, Dad.
Yo.
I'm like, all right, my bad. Let's go to outlets to see what they got. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit
Yeah,
has
man.
changed. Shit has changed.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact, man. I think white ups for us is like what Stan Smiths were for like the generation before us. Definitely. It's a must, man. It's a splurge. So now we are definitely raising kids in a different time, man. When we were coming up, our parents didn't really want to listen to much that we had to say. It was pretty much do what the hell I tell you before I beat your ass. Or, you say one more thing and I'm smack the crap out you, all this other stuff, right? But now you have to be one of those parents where you got to be able to sit down, have a conversation, understand because the information is coming at them faster than it was to us. Social media is coming at them with all types of ways to hold, not even hopefully, but hold them to this standard of trying to meet what they see. So you can't just rush to any statements. How is that understanding and acceptance of what your kids are growing up into as far as this world changed how you fit your priorities?
I think we touched this on an episode not too long ago, but working in the corporate world has tamed me for the house life in regards to you just can't blow up because you got a bad email. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just because the youngest kid drop a cup of juice because the hands ain't big enough yet. Wilding out doesn't change the fact that the juice fell. You still got to go get the paper towels. You still go, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So you might as well just have the composure to go, hey, it's okay. All's well. A little sticky, but we can fix that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta just have that composure and understand that they're not there yet. One, their hand's not big enough. Two, I'm very easily distracted. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's running this way, the dog's running that way, and I got this cup. Like you know what I'm saying? It just has to go. But and even it's funny. Even my very first kid, my first kid, Samantha, you know her. We brought her home the first night, and the hospital was sweet, no issues. But the first night home, she was crying. And every so often I look at me and Jen laugh about it. Where we just like, this is just being a parent.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you signed up for that. I definitely didn't sign up for this. Did you sign up for this shit? Like, it'd be one of those. But by the time the third kid came around, just like, oh, he's crying. It's like, yeah, he does that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a process now. It's like, give him 2.5 minutes, it'll wind down, put the air condition on, it's gonna be fine. Just give him a second. You know what I mean? It's not the babying isn't there, but you had to learn that. You had to learn how to raise a kid to know what to do with the next one. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a fact.
yeah, practice makes perfect, man. Practice makes perfect. It's my last kid. It's the last run. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I don't know if there's a Super Bowl in me. You know what I'm saying? I think I would just go with these 3 chips and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for sure. Listening, accepting, understanding, all part of the plan.
I hear you, brother. So, the next part of this, man, and last week I told you I've been watching the Pivot podcast a lot lately, and when they had Tom Brady on there, he said something that really stuck with me. Your kids' priorities should be your priorities. When you hear that, brother, how does that resonate with you?
Like, it sounds good on paper, but kids are so finicky. So it's hard for me to just put 1,000% into a Wednesday passion. You know what I'm saying? Because even with my kids, like, for example, Kennedy, right? Oh, I want to do karate Monday, right? Tuesday. Oh, I want to do soccer. I forget karate. Right? Wednesday. Like, I heard they're doing flag football. Can I do flag football? It's like, all right. Thursday. I wonder if that dance studio's still open. I'm trying to see if ballet's still a thing. You think we should go back? I'm like, dog, soccer cleats didn't even get here yet that we ordered 2 days ago. Like, can you, you know what I mean? So it's hard to kind of throw your all into something that they're not sure of as of yet. So I do try to not stall them, but make sure it's a real emotion that they're feeling, something that lasts longer than 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? If she brings up the boxing thing one more time, we're gonna go. We got it. I gotta go do it. You know what I mean? But if he acts once and then a month go by, you don't say nothing again. I'm like, it was a fad. You know what I'm saying? But that is how I kind of. That's when I know when I should be putting my all into it. But how much you care about it to bring it up again.
Gotcha. No, yeah.
How about you? When you heard that line, as far as your kids' priorities being your priorities, were you 1,000% behind it?
Yes. Before I get my answer though, I love what Jen put in the chat. Nope, no Super Bowl, buddy. That's out the question. You're officially retired, fam. Hang it up. So what resonated with me, and its foundational principle, is in what you just said. To me, if it's a priority to my son, then every day this is what he wants to do. And on top of that, he's done some sort of research or some sort of work on his own because he has a device that literally gives him the information. There's not much I can do for him unless it requires funding or travel. But if it's just looking something up, he can do that on his own. So when I heard Tom say that, I took it as, oh, so this is like you've come to me and you're telling me every type of dinosaur. You're telling me what's their habitat. You're telling me who's supposed to be the biggest, who's the fastest. Okay, this is something to you. Like you're invested in this. Then I'm taking you places and you're walking your cousins around and you're telling them about the dinosaurs before they can even read the sign. So now I'm like, all right, now this is something that you live and breathe, and can't nobody tell you about it because you research this every day. So when it's to that level, to exactly what you said, 100%, absolutely, his priority now becomes my priority. I'm researching places to take him. What type of courses can he take at his level to get preemptive education on becoming a paleontologist. And then, of course, to your point is, as he gets older, is this still a passion? And somehow, some way, man, the brother's 11 years old. And I think this started, and babe, keep me honest in the chat, I think this started around like 8, 9 years old. So 3 years later, he's still standing strong, looking into dinosaurs. So now I'm like, all right, well, that's the priority for me. And I think it comes also from, going from that fixed mindset to growth mindset, where it's almost, you good over there, bro? It sounded like
Yo,
something just flew by.
did you hear that thunder, my nigga?
Oh, that was thunder? I thought that was a big ass. I thought something was flying in there, bro.
Nigga, you in another burrow, motherfucker. Yo, my whole monitor went out for a second. I was like, oh, this show's over.
Oh.
Oh, my heart. Jesus, I'm sorry. I thought that was it, my G.
Oh, man.
As you were saying.
No problem, man. But yeah, I think it just comes from having that fixed mindset to a growth mindset where it's just like you got to lean in to your kids. It's easy to just kind of lay back and be like, yeah, do whatever you want. You lean in, you show that interest, you participate, you probably even do your own learning on your own. So it creates these conversations where you go back and forth, and sometimes he's in love with gaming, and sometimes I'll ask him random questions. I'll watch him play the game for a while, and he gets a kick out of it until he kicks me out of his room. And that's our bonding. But yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Here's my question for you. What do you as far as kids' priorities being your priorities, and being 1,000%, as long as they're 1,000%, awesome. But what do you do in those times where his priority and your priority have the same time slot? Like what's happening? Like you negate your priority for his priority? Is it a slow walk off the plank? Like, yo, my man, talk to you over here for a second. What's your go-to when it arrives?
These are those rough waters as a father, man, where you're not only worried about what your kid's gonna think, you're worried about what the peanut gallery is gonna think. That's your whether it's your baby mother, your wife, girlfriend, whatever, and then everybody that she tells about this moment, right? But what I found that works for me is communicating with my son about what it is that I do, and having him have an understanding that if for any reason dad can't be around for something important for him, which thank God so far hasn't happened, it's because what I'm doing is to set him up to continue to have all of these great moments that he has without any hiccups. Mm-hmm. And what I find to be a good plan B, if you have a job like you're probably an on-call surgeon and shit, sometimes you literally gotta walk out of recitals, it sucks, is to set yourself up in the best way where you make a plan that's non-negotiable. Hopefully your profession can't get in the way, and it's literally you and your kid locked in. Whatever they want to do, you show full interest, you're present in the moment, not on your phone, not looking around. And you give them those moments so that they can understand that you are prioritizing time with them. What they want to do is important to you, and the rest is up to God. Because are they still going to feel upset about you missing some of their big moments? Absolutely. But that is the society we're in until we're completely wealthy and we don't have to work or we don't have to do things. Sure. And that's what I find works for me.
I get it, man. I get it. Oh, man. That life.
Yeah, man. It's tough. It's rough shit, man. Rough sledding, man. Rough sledding. But I got a question for you, brother. You're a 3-time champ, you know what I'm saying? Undefeated every time, wife was with you shooting in the gym, and y'all got 3 beautiful children out of it. Who's the biggest critic amongst your kids?
Oh, man, they got the little ones and talking yet, but I would go with the middle one. She's my carbon copy, unfortunately, in female form. As far as smart alecky, sarcasm, and just being judgy, because that's all me. I do all those things, and I thought I did them well, but she does it with like a smile. She got it good. You know what I mean? But I would go with Kennedy, the middle child. She is by far the biggest critic between her and her sister at the moment. The sister just Savannah just thinks I'm a hater, and I probably am. But Kennedy, she gets me on everything.
Got you. All right. SKL has a different opinion. She thinks it's the oldest.
Probably towards her.
That's true.
Probably towards
That's
her.
true. Oh man. So now how does this impact like what you guys cook, how you plan your outings? Like I know there's got to be a really good example of how your biggest critic as far as your kids has shifted a whole plan.
With Savannah, like if we all running a little late, Jen got off late, I worked late, and we just getting in the house late. We might have to order something. It's like everybody don't eat the same shit. Like we'd be like, all right, we're just gonna grab a pizza. Kenny's like, I'm not big on a pepperoni. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, nobody wants plain though. You know what I'm saying? So we're just like, all right, we order Chinese, and then Savannah's like, I don't really like Chinese food. We like at all. Like you want a fry? She's like, nah. I'm like, hey, and then my wife be like McDonald's, and I'll be like, it's not really the health. Like it's nasty in the house. Like we just gotta go and get some shit. But but food and shit, everybody has their own personal, and I gotta have it this way, that way, or the highway. As far as going out, everybody's pretty good as long as we're out. They don't care what we're doing. That always works out in our favor. But I think food might be the biggest hurdle as a family. We just can't get over. Jen will be in the kitchen slaving all night, whipping it up. Put the kids' food out. They go. Is there anything else you made? Like, excuse me? You got a protein, a side, some salad. Like, what are you looking for? Like, what I'm saying? It's just like, whatever's here, I wasn't in this mood. You know what I mean? We're just like, yo, fam. Like, Jen be ready to flip the whole sink. Like, yo, fam. It's like these. Yeah, I mean, but man, cooking here is tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thankfully, man, Darius, like, he critiques Shay's cooking a lot. Whenever he's happy with it, she's like, finally. But thankfully, I don't think he's the pickiest eater right now, but he looks like he's on the verge of that. Like, I remember for a minute, he was a good chicken tender dude. Like, you ain't even really have to ask him. You order some chicken tender and fries on the weekend, he'll be cool. And he was pretty content with what Shay would make. Then I think as he started to turn between like 9 and 11, we would see him making cereal and be like, bro, there's a whole dinner in there. Why are you eating cereal? I don't really want it. I'm like, wow. And I just look at her face and she's like, what? You know what I mean? Like, she ain't feeling it. But I think he's teetering towards that picky eater phase. But right now he's in this weird kick where he's like trying to, slim down. So it's interesting watching his whole change of interest when it comes to food, man.
Is he eating all your fruit yet?
Bro, let me tell you something. I had to walk over one of my healthy cookies to him, and I was like, no. You see that? No. He said that's yours. I said, yes, no. You don't touch this.
You don't touch this.
Yeah, and then he found some healthy other chips I had. I was like, fuck. Yeah.
If it was A or B, I give you B.
You know what I'm saying? You know when you got that snack that's like tucked in the back, you haven't seen it in a while, so you forgot it's there, and then you see the kid grab it, and you're like,
"Damn, found it." But I put that up high enough where you wouldn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. All right. So before we close this thing out, man, what advice would you give to a dad out there who may be struggling to set his priorities for becoming a dad, or either is a dad and is struggling with setting his priorities?
I'll give you a cheat code. If you are still involved with the mother of said child, ask her. let her let you know what you need to do so that at least you know you're doing the right thing as far as communication goes. Get on the good foot with that. You know what I'm saying? If you could, and then add your little your little pieces to the puzzle as need be. If you are trying to figure it out adjacent as far as just not being in the same space, I don't want to say the same rules apply, but they do with hesitation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because now not that you don't want to be 1,000% in because you're not there to be 1,000% in, but you got to get damn close. You know what I'm saying? So still try to listen, but with a skeptical ear. That makes any sense. I'm not saying that, not trust anybody. We're not here for that. FCP, we love the kids, but do your best to communicate more. If you are struggling in that area of priorities, if you can't differentiate what is important versus what is not important, let someone else know who shares that importance with you. Let you know what is important if you're unsure. But if y'all both don't know, oh man, we gotta call grandma because this ain't it.
This ain't it. Yeah, that's right. Somebody got to step in. Big Mama got to step in. That's for sure.
Somebody. How about you? What advice would you give to someone struggling?
I think those two were great, man. I'll add, find a great example of somebody who just gets it. Right? Like there's a bunch of dads, there's a community out there. Find someone that gets it, right? They put their kids through school, or they've got one or two young kids, and they seem to just have a rhythm, whether they're a single dad or a dad involved with the baby mother, like you said. The game is, what I'm saying, it's the same game, right? The players are just different. There's different equipment, you know what I mean? The rules may have shifted a little bit, but the game is really the same. And I think the best thing you could do is go to those who have already been playing the game for a long time, which is raising these kids. And they got the game for you right there. Just go there and get the foundation. And give yourself grace to make mistakes, man. Give yourself grace. It's not the end of the world unless you do something fatal or something you can't come back from. But if you are just going through the process and you make a misstep, give yourself the grace to come back and get it right. Really pay attention to those lessons learned, because this is a lot different when you're dealing with raising up a life, raising up a kid. It is not a game, even though I tried to use that analogy earlier. This is real shit. You never know what this child is going to become, so you want to give them the best life possible so that they can achieve what they want.
Well said, plan. Well said.
All right, man. So yeah, that's our dad series for today, man. We appreciate everybody joining with us. We're gonna shift over real quick, unless you got something else on that topic before we shift.
Oh no. Every third Wednesday, man, we out here giving these tips, these gems, these new discoveries. Every third Wednesday of the month, man. The father/dad series, man. We're getting it in.
Definitely. And shout out to SKL and only Mrs. Lee in the chat, giving up all the goods on these kids, man. These kids are ruthless, but we love them. We love them.
Yeah, that's a fact.
All right. So this is that part of the show where I'm not a doctor. I just play one here on FCP, man. And this week we're highlighting U.S. News Best Hospitals 2024-2025 honor roll list that lists it was actually a lot of hospitals, but we're just going to stick to the ones where we know most of our fans are, and of course here in the tri-state area. So we're going to start off with California. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center made it. Stanford Stanford Hospital made it. UCLA Medical Center out of Los Angeles. UC San Diego Health, La Jolla and Hillcrest Hospitals. UCSF Health, UCSF Medical Center out of San Francisco made it. Out in Massachusetts, Brigham and Women's Hospital made it. Not surprised by that. And Mass Gen Hospital also made it. Now here in New York, Mount Sinai Hospital, New York City made it. Whoop, whoop. New York Presbyterian Hospital, Columbia and Cornell. North Shore University Hospital at Northwell, Manhasset. And then NYU Langone Hospitals in New York City. And then out in PA, shout out to all our people in PA. Hospitals of the University of Pennsylvania, Penn Presbyterian out in Philadelphia made the list.
Man,
Exclusive.
if you're not in California, you
exclusive
better be on the East Coast. If you're not in Cali, you better be on the East Coast, man.
Well, there's more like across throughout the United States. I just try to keep it to like, what I think our viewers would care about.
Mhm.
But then going over to, there's two separate lists, right? There's the honor roll where they looked at specific specialties and patient outcomes. And then there's, the top hospitals list also. And 29 New York hospitals made that list. You got Long Island Jewish Medical Center out of Northwell, Lenox Hill Hospital out of Northwell, Montefiore, St. Francis Hospital and Health Center. Different campuses from Mount Sinai made it throughout the city. New York Presbyterian again, Brooklyn Methodist, Huntington Hospital, Stony Brook, South Shore. The list goes on and on. It's a lot of really cool hospitals that are here in New York. So if you're in New York, you probably want to look up this list to make sure that's one of the hospitals where your provider's at, because it's important, man. You want to make sure you're going to one of the best hospitals.
You don't want to just be showing up like, yeah, do what I need. No. You want to do a little bit of research, my boy.
That's a fact, man. All right, man. FCP Sports Corner time, man. Real quick, because we know we've had y'all for over an hour and a half, and we appreciate y'all hanging in, man. We still got a lot of people hanging with us, and we appreciate it. We're going to start off with the New York Knicks, man. Jalen Brunson did something interesting, brother. Did you hear the news? Your man wants to win.
As a fan, I'm super happy, but as a man, I'm a little mad at Jalen. But talk to me, man. What's the numbers looking like, man? Where we at? What's going on with him?
All right. Jalen Brunson signed a 4-year, $156 million extension with the Knicks. Now, you're probably like, sounds like a lot of money, Sean. What's the issue? Well, what you don't know is Jalen Brunson could have signed a 5-year super max $269 million deal. That means he left $113 million, everybody, on the table, quote unquote, because he wants the Knicks to use that to build up the team.
Now, as a fan, two-part question. As a fan, I want to hear your initial outlook. As an NBA player approaching 30, I want to hear your response to this. Let me hear your version of this news as a fan first.
As a fan, it's dope. You know what I mean? The Knicks got a lot of potential. They just signed or traded for Mikal Bridges, so the Villanova boys are there. So now you're thinking, shit, 113 million out there. We can probably bring in somebody, really good for that. That's the fan. The player
turning 30.
Turning 30. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Like, your health is not promised. Tomorrow's not promised. And organizations have been known to tell players that, hey, yeah, if you take a pay cut, we're going to bring in the right talent around you. And in some cases, they actually have not done that.
You know what I mean?
So, I don't know.
Like, a pay cut is one thing to make the team better. And I'm all for, sacrificing for the greater good. I'm all for that. I've seen Tom Brady do it, get a chip in Tampa Bay. I've seen people do it. Like, I've seen LeBron do it. But listen, LeBron took like a $3 million cut. Like, you know what I'm saying? He said, hey, we need some more bodies, man. I'll shave a couple mil off, you know what I'm saying? Off the second year, though. Not this one, off the second year. Like, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, everybody's like, oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. You're like, hey, anything for the team, But 113 million in New York with these taxes approaching 30, you're gonna have to find another way to get this done, because if I don't win this year, like, there's no guarantee. Like, and I know the way his contract is set up as far as, like, I think the third or the fourth year is like a no play option, so he could kind of mess around. You know what I'm saying? If they do win one between now and then got some more bargaining chips to play with. You know what I mean? The TV deal hit next year, the numbers might look a little better. But for the right now, that's tough to come home like, hey, baby, I got the job. Yeah, but I turned down a bigger job. You what? He says, same building though. Same building. It's like, it's like, what do we, like, how are we, what do we, why are you, too many questions.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, hey, I agree with you 100%. I know I definitely would not leave this much money on the table. I probably would have took maybe a shorter year contract. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I understand how these contracts work to the T, but I probably would have took a shorter year just to make sure that if they don't honor their word, then this is a quick trip for me, and I can make moves or whatever. But somebody knows what they're doing in his camp, I hope, and maybe we see something that happens out of this. And I really hope we do, because I think this is a notable gesture, and it will definitely be talked about over the next year or two if the Knicks do not make it to the finals.
Oh, absolutely. God, like, you know what I mean? Knock on wood, even if something goes south throughout the season, you know what I'm saying? And he just doesn't get to that, you know what I mean? That eval part of the show, you know what I mean?
Yep.
A lot will be discussed. But till then, hey, shout out to the Knicks. Get the bodies that he let y'all he let y'all save some money for.
That's a fact. That's a fact. We got some news on Skip Bayless, man. Talk to us.
Yo, man, he announced the other day, like, he's going to be leaving FS1, man. He's not going to be able to stick around with the Undisputed program anymore. His final show will be towards the end of the summer. How do you feel about Skip calling it quits with FS1, bro?
I mean, I think it was going to happen sooner or later. I mean, sports analysts, the way we look at it right now is changing so much. If you look at the podcast industry, if you look at the few shows that people actually watch on streaming sites, it's not the same game. And Skip, unfortunately, doesn't have that same following that he did before. So this was writing on the wall, and bow out gracefully.
Do you think Shannon leaving was the beginning of his end, or was he already headed downhill even with Shannon on the way out?
It definitely was the beginning, and I don't think he had a plan B. And not to say there is anybody that can replace what Shannon Sharp brought to that show, but you should always have a succession plan. And I don't think Skip had it. I think he thought he still had that kind of a draw, and the ratings let him know that that was not the case.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Do you think he was just like maybe one co-host away after Shannon left? Like how Memphis Bleak might have been like just one hit away? Like if he would have found the perfect co-host that counted him, like, the same polarizing figure as Shannon made himself on his way out, but still had good dialogue with back and forth. You think that would have saved them or kept them around a little bit longer?
No, because I think his individual brand wasn't big enough. Like you see how with First Take, Stephen A's brand is so big that everybody he's brought on there has been able to now leverage that and go do something else. Skip doesn't have that. So he could have brought Michael Jordan on in there, and Michael Jordan wouldn't have saved him. Hold
on now, Michael Jordan. I think gonna say his son. I think gonna say his son or something. I'm like, but the Michael Jordan. he might have stayed. He probably would have stayed to the winter time. But as far as him calling the quits, you think he retired into the sunset, or he tried to find something else to do in media?
I think he's gonna try and find something else to do. I mean, he's still got some life in him, and I give it to the old guy, man. He's still got some swag on him. And I think he's gonna probably spin off and take his stab at podcasting or something like that, and see where it goes. I think he might spin into another area if he's smart, because sports. I mean, I personally don't look for Skip Bayless's opinion on sports, so he probably will venture off into something else.
Yeah. Okay. Skip, man. We shall see. We shall see. But WNBA is heating up. It ain't too many games left. Seasons go by quick, no?
Big facts, man. I know they're getting ready for the All-Star weekend. I think it's out in Phoenix. And then getting ready for, the Olympics end of this month, I believe. So a lot going on with them. But Connecticut Sun and Chicago Sky, two teams that, of course, Connecticut Sun are, pretty much trying to get a championship. They have a really good team. And we know Chicago Sky with Angel Reese and Kennedy Carter, They are really thriving as rookies. Camilo Cardozo over there. But it looks like there was a big trade today. Chicago Sky sent their veteran Marina Mabry over to the Connecticut Sun for Rachel Banham. And there's some other people and picks involved in this. But this is an interesting trade because Marina Mabry has been one of those really key vets in, bringing along Kennedy Carter, doing the little intangibles. And Connecticut's Sun already have a bunch of intangible players. They're a very tough team. So to bring Marina over, I mean, this is going to be very interesting. Her and Dejanay Carrington have had a lot of wars so far. So it's going to be interesting to see them on the same team. And then bringing Rachel over to Chicago Sky. I think Rachel had like a crazy game the other day where she had some like record stats. So now that brings another good scorer over to Chicago. But you can tell now, I mean, they're officially giving the keys to the Sky to Kennedy Carter, Angel Reese, and they're just going to build around them.
If you had to give a winner and a loser to this trade, who do you think won more than the other team?
Oh, Connecticut Sun. Absolutely. Like, because now, like when Dejanay used to go to the bench, nothing against the bench for the Connecticut Sun, there was not really much at that position that could replicate what she brings to the game. But now bringing Marina Mabry, I mean, this is like, it's like they never leave the court now. And then, God forbid, both of them are on the court at the same time with Alyssa Thomas, with DeWanna Bonner, with Taisha Harris. I mean, whew, good luck trying to score.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact. Okay.
Yeah.
WNBA.
So going over to football, brother, I saw this and I was like, I have to ask Kenny what he thinks about this. Chicago Bears, right? They drafted Caleb Williams with the number 1 pick, and they signed him to a 4-year, $39 million fully guaranteed contract, which comes with a $25.5 million signing bonus and a 5th-year team option. Now, my question for you, with the history of the last couple of draft picks by the Chicago Bears team, right? You think of the Trubisky's. I can't believe the last quarterback. I'm drawing a blank on him. Do you think this was a good idea?
Without him throwing his first pass as a Chicago Bear, no. I get it. Hey, he probably has a good agent, able to get the maximum demand for him. And, he was a top pick. So, man, that's a lot of guaranteed money up front before taking a throw, a touchdown, a handoff. Just because we see what happened with Aaron Rodgers the first 4 plays in, like you just never know. Like you just never know. You know what I mean? It's so scary out there. But hey, shouts to the young boy getting his money. Hopefully this investment is worth it. Because goddamn, that's a lot. Seeing what he did at USC, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I just remember the other quarterback's name, Justin Fields. I think he went over to Pittsburgh. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I wish him the best, and a lot of pressure. Chicago has been waiting for something to happen, and who knows, maybe this is it. But like I told you last show, man, soccer has now officially crept into my life. I am officially a fan. I was watching the Euro League and the Copa America.
You just there for the parlays. I'm on to you, nigga.
It's a different type of interest when you got something on the line. So I'm like, come on, kick this shit.
Kick that shit.
So, but yo, shout out to Spain, man. They won a record 4th Euro championship. Shout out to England, though. They gave them a hell of a game. They were in it. And then, man, listen, man, Argentina and Colombia in the Copa America Championship. Let me tell you something. If you live in Queens and you were anywhere near Northern Boulevard, shout out to my homie Michelle, that place was like little Colombia. Every time Colombia played, everybody was out, all the fans were out, and it was just mayhem. And if you're not familiar with soccer, of course, Lionel Messi plays for Argentina, and he is pretty much an icon. he suffered an injury, bro, and I was like, well, there goes my parlay. I was like,
there goes that. Just shut the phone down. Like,
yeah, you know what I mean? I was looking at that cash out like, like
so
there is no time like the present to get the hell out of here, take what you got and run. But I remembered from watching this team in previous years that for somehow, some way, they always tend to find a way. And the announcer the entire time kept saying, if Colombia lets them stay in this game, their experience is going to kick in and they're going to find a way to win. And that's exactly what happened, man. They scored a goal, man. So they won their third straight Copa America championship. And Lionel Messi now has 2 Copa America championships, 1 World Cup, 1 Finalissima champion. I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure it's soccer. But he's amazing. He's amazing. And you know what I mean? But his ankle was jacked up, bro. It was jacked up.
Nobody wants to see the goat get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Shout to your parlays, man. Shout to your parlays.
Yeah, man. We made it through, man. But all right, man. We're gonna get over to TV shows, movies, and music recommendations, man. Listen, you know what? We're gonna leave House of the Dragon last because we don't want y'all to leave us because we do have a spoiler alert for that. So I'm just gonna jump into. I'm hearing there are rumors that there is going to be a Martin prequel in the works.
Like before he moved to Chicago?
It's supposed to be young Martin. So of course, you know, for you youngins that don't know what we're talking about, Martin is a popular show featuring Martin Lawrence and a couple of other people. I don't remember their names right now, but it was very, very funny show. It was a show that catapulted Martin Lawrence into stardom, and it's confirmed now that it's in the works. It's a partnership with Bob Yari and Wonder Hill Studios to now show young Martin. So pretty much how Bel Air was like the young Will Smith, they're looking to do a young version of Martin.
Yeah, it might be a little too late, but hey, somebody's gonna pay him. Let's get the writers out. Let's get the writers out. Let's get the actors in. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'll definitely watch the pilot episode.
Yeah, and then listen, for my Robert De Niro, Al Pacino fans, there is a rumor that Michael Mann is currently working on the script for Heat 2. And now I'm telling you, I think everybody who's if you're a real Robert De Niro, Al Pacino fan, you know exactly the movie I'm talking about. They are working on Heat 2. It's just, you know, getting the script together. I can't tell you how excited I am and hopeful that they cast this the right way because that movie was phenomenal.
Listen, I'm not saying fuck the script, but if they don't top that gun battle scene, I don't even want to see it. I need to see that like times 1,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like get Michael Bay's helicopter, all that. Do what I gotta do, man. Do it. Make that shit pop. But it's gonna be dope though. It's gonna be dope for sure.
Absolutely. Then over on Netflix, man, Receiver is out now. If you are a fan of Netflix original shows, last year was featuring the quarterbacks. This year is talking about the receivers. I believe it's following Justin Jefferson, Amon St. Brown, and George Kittle, Deebo Samuel. So and I love the beginning of it, man. You see Peyton Manning talking in the beginning, and then Randy just kind of cuts him off like, "Hey, Peyton, relax, bro." And he says, and I love the play on words. He's like, "Trust me, it's in good hands." You know what I mean? And then it shows a bunch of Randy Moss highlights before the first episode starts. But I'm like halfway through the first part. It looks really good, man. It's taking you through the recent season that they had. And, you know, even though we know how the season ends, it's going to be interesting to see how they went through it individually.
Preparation, yeah. I've seen the trailer for it. The trailer looked dope. There's a lot of dope edits and cuts they did to it. But I just know this is going to be one of those I'm watching by myself shows. So I gotta pick. I gotta pick and choose my time slots on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's the 5:30, 6 o'clock run slot. So and then so me and the wife are always looking for new shows. Right now, what we're watching is Vikings of Valhalla. We're about to start season 3. It's a really cool show, man. It's based on pretty much a battle between Christians and pagans, and it's a lot going on in this show, a lot to keep up with, but it's keeping us entertained. So we're excited to start season 3. Pretty cool. It's like 8 episodes a season, so it's a quick catch up.
Okay. All right. That's it. Speaking of watch list, I caught a show that you recommended last week on Netflix called Supercell. It was like I believe you categorized it as like Top Boy meeting the Avengers. Yeah. And I was like, how is drugs and superheroes gonna make sense? And I was saying, and after the first episode, and I was like, babe, did you see? I looked over, she's knocked out. I'm like, yo, not this time. I watched the whole shit. I went without her. I think I almost broke daylight. It went to like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I was like, whatever, man. 6 episodes. I have to get that out my system. Like, you know what I mean? She wake up the next day. She's like, did you watch it? I'm like, did I watch it? Oh, you got to see how it ends. She said, how it ends. I was like, yeah, you fucked up, baby. You got to go back on your own now. You know what I mean? But it was a really good show. And as soon as I watched it, the next day, Savannah goes, oh, I saw a new show on Netflix with Supercell. I've seen it. She's like, you saw it without me? I was like, yeah, I just seen it. So it's not even.
It's like, calm down.
I'm like, hey, if there's any cancellation, you and your mom can catch up at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got a show to watch. But it was really good, though. I liked it.
Nice.
Another good show I would recommend. I know you don't do the Apple TV, but Presumed Innocent. But Jake Gyllenhaal. Ooh, man. Ooh, it's spicy. It's a spicy one.
Okay.
He's a prosecutor, and boy, is he going through some shit. But you gotta watch it. Okay. It's a really good show.
All right, brother. I hear you. Oh yeah, my wife just finished watching Dexter. She never watched it before.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah.
nigga crazy, right? Long story short, nigga crazy. What a
pretty much. So she said. I didn't watch it, but yeah, she watched it.
Oh, wait, you never seen Dexter?
Nah, man, never got into it. Yeah.
Right. All right. What are you gonna do, right?
I know, right? All right, so listen, this is about that time where we get into House of Dragons, y'all. Full on spoiler alert. If you have not seen episode 5, we thank you for being here. But we are about to get into it. We totally understand if you have to leave. Have a good night. So, episode 5, brother. The king is cooked, and we're trying to figure out if he's like done, or if he's like medium well. We don't know.
The boy medium well at best. Peeling his arm off his chest. I was like, oh
yeah,
that boy hot. Yeah, man. That's what happens when you kill a king, right? I guess it's like you get this. It's a rare occasion when you get to sit in the seat immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But he planned it to the T. This was the job he wanted. He got it. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty easy. It was pretty obvious that it was Aegon wanted him gone. When you look your brother dead in the eye and you still go Dracarys and just cook his ass, I think it's very obvious that he wanted that boy up out of here. He wants the power. He was tired of being made fun of, and that was his moment. But it was hilarious to find when the queen thought she was going to have all those supporters for her to take rule, and she looked at the dude she was giving the buns up to. He was like, no. She looked at the little weasel that was supposed to be on her side. He was like, no.
Crazy.
She was out there on a limb by herself, bro.
Out there a week after birth control, like, yo, what the fuck? He said, now y'all believe in me now? She really thought she had cold in the tuck. He's like, nah. Nah. I ain't gonna lie, for a second, I thought they were gonna give it the cold. I was like, what? You know what I mean? But Iman stepped up and said, no, I got this. He took his little ball from the middle and shit. I was like, ooh, that's fucked up. Respect that. But I ain't gonna lie. Listen, I was in the middle of this last episode, and one of the blonde dread young girls showed up. Jenna asked, "Which one was that?" I was like, "Listen, man, just watch the fucking show." Like, I don't know whose daughter is the wife of the cousin anymore. Like, these the black blondes, all right? Like, that's all I got right now. Like, they're all related.
The black moms.
That's all I got right now. I can't I need a family tree to know who's who, man. It's
true.
It's a lot of. I don't even know their names no more. Outside of the main characters, I can't get a name to none of those kids. None of them. None of them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shit. I remembered it just because I wrote it down on here, bro. You'd asked me before the show, I'd be like, who? Egon, and Iman. I don't know, man.
like none of them related. Like, it's like, what? That's
a fact. That's a fact.
Oh,
and then, Damon's still going through this midlife crisis, and I'm starting to get annoyed.
Oh shit!
Like, how you bring your dragon to the battle? Talk about join me or feel the fire, and then you let niggas leave, bro. Like,
I don't know. He got. That nigga need therapy. He needs therapy. Like, he needs that way back when therapy. I don't know how he gonna do it. But something gotta get. Something gotta get for sure.
Yeah, that was thunder again, bro. I heard it that time.
Yeah, it's real out here, man. Yeah, it's real out here. But hey, we need it. We need it. We gotta calm this heat down. So.
No, I feel it. We're about to wrap up anyway. But yeah, man. I mean, still, this episode was a little light on action, but I guess they're trying to set the stage for the story for the next dramatic event, whatever. Because now it looks like, what is it? Rhaenyra and her son are about to go through like 1,000 different records to find out who could ride dragons outside their family. I'm like,
who's reading all that shit? One and two.
Yeah.
It's like who? They're gonna spend all the episode reading 1,000 books? No, thank you. Yeah, somebody better be a fast reader in this fucking town. Like, I'm not dealing with this shit. I'm not.
Yeah, and that castle has high ceilings. I ain't never seen a ladder in any of those scenes. I don't even know how they get into those records at the top. This just looks like an insurmountable task.
Not interested. I'm not interested in finding out who can ride a dragon.
That's it. I would just line up the firstborn from every family and put them in front of the dragon. If they get cooked, they get cooked. They're not meant for it. Like, I don't know. Like, it just seems faster.
It was this time. That's all I'm telling you. That's it.
That's a fact, man. Oh man, but hey, man, listen, this is a really good show, bro. 2 hours.
Yeah, quick 2 hours. Quick 2 hours. I ain't gonna lie, I ran out of cool air about an hour ago, so I just I've been looking over at the breeze, and the breeze hasn't been breezing back.
Listen, maybe that tree's in the way.
Word, something. Oh shit!
All right, man. Well, let's get you out back into the AC, man. Listen. Any last words before we get up out of it?
Hey, man, happy Wednesday, middle of the month vibes. Shit, other than that, Fatherhood series, man. Another one in the book.
Yes. We appreciate y'all hanging with us, man. 2 hours, man. We can't thank y'all enough. Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you're following us on socials. We'll have a couple bonus episodes dropping before the first. And then, of course, you know what I mean? Check us out on the first with our new episode. We're live here every Wednesday. And then, of course, every third Wednesday, we have the Dad series. Appreciate you all, man. Have a good night and stay cool, man. It's ugly out there. And apparently in Staten Island, it's real ugly.
man, thunder for no fucking reason, bro. Peace.
Later.